hidden, forgotten. This is Harbor Town. Harbor Town is an all-new series from Miniature Building Authority, the leader in tabletop gaming scenery. Unique, flexible, and playable, Harbor Town will take your games to a new destination. From the edge of the sea, from the edge of time, beckons a destination. Ancient, hidden, forgotten. This is Harbor Town. Harbor Town is an all-new series from Miniature Building Authority, the leader in tabletop gaming scenery. Unique, flexible, and playable, Harbor Town will take your games to a new destination.
Hey, Will.
Hey, sorry about running.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Okay.
Got a couple minutes.
Okay, cool.
Tim's running a little late, so it just may be you and me BSing for a bit, which is cool.
Hey, I'm down with that.
Yeah,
I got no problem.
Absolutely, man. It's gonna be fun.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, man. I just realized how beat I am.
I hear that. I'm still tired. It's like, oh yeah. Go to bed here. In a little while.
What a great time, though, huh?
Yeah, it was a blast. We had a lot of fun doing it. So for sure.
Yeah, we got some crowd coming on already.
Yeah, Adam is not going to make it.
Not a problem. It was an offer.
Yeah, he's busy with the family unit and stuff. He's a busy guy. That and shooting his web series and doing like video stuff and whatnot. He's got a lot of different stuff that's going on.
It's cool. We are good.
Yeah, but he always makes time to let me know stuff.
Well, courtesy's always a good thing, right?
Right.
Yeah. It's always nice to have someone that you can rely on that way.
Yeah, it's totally. I often, I try to tell him as much as possible. Hey, thanks for all that you do, and he's as much a part of everything as I am. So
cool.
I don't consider it just one man show, so by no means.
Excellent.
It is more of a we are Wicked Studios, not just me.
Oh yeah, I mean, where would I be without my players? My friends.
Yeah, no, totally. So that definitely goes for sure. What was your end count total? I saw you were saying it was going to be over 1,000.
Well, I added yours in to get. We got there. We're not done. Nice. I think we're gonna have some more tonight too. So.
Right.
I think we're gonna have a little bit more tonight, but yeah, it's a group effort. So yeah, I'll show you. We'll pop up on the screen. Well, come on right now. Why not? Let's come on now. How's that sound?
That works for me.
How's that sound, guys? There you go. Hello. Hey,
hello.
It's Jay, aka Lord Gazumba, along with Will. And Will, why don't we kick this right off with you got a big announcement I saw you put on Facebook. Kind of a big announcement. You're making some changes.
Yeah, I wouldn't really say it's a big announcement so much as in it's a changing of a little bit of how we do things. So I had hold on a second here. Let me
take your time, man. We got time.
So basically what it is for, like, when I started this up, I started it as Return to the Bandit Kingdoms, and that was the primary game and what have you. So then I went and I started up a Facebook page for it. I mean, the channel's the Wicked Studios channel, so that's, everything is under Wicked Studios. But what I had done is I made the Facebook channel Return to the Bandit Kingdoms. And then after I was going through, and as Bandits is getting into, it's probably going into the second half, into the later half of the story arc, I was like, well, I've kind of really typecast myself in there with it being just the Bandit Kingdoms. So I was like, well, let me go ahead and change this up a little bit. And so I rebranding, essentially the Facebook page is going to be Greyhawk Adventures. And so just for Greyhawk stuff in general, but also that's going to take the place of all the Greyhawk adventures or games that we stream on Wicked Studios. So that's really all that was. It was just a rebranding of the Facebook page so that it could more align with what I was doing with that, as opposed to just because if I say, everybody, I don't want all my games to have to take place in the Bandit Kingdoms.
Oh, I understand that, and I'm in a similar spot, and I'm going to put this out there to everyone too. I'm going to ask your opinion. Anna thinks I should change my channel name. And I'm like, I'm branded under this. And she says, we should change it to Order of Ulick, Knights of Ulick or something like that. And I'm like, I don't know if that's really necessary. I think it's kind of a weird name. And I think it's catchy. So I don't know. I mean, I understand what you're branding, what you're doing on your channel. Your channel name is not going to change. But she's actually said, you may want to consider that, because that's what, everyone's old school canon is knowing you for is your Order of Ulick campaign. So I'm like, I don't know.
I can definitely see that both ways, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like, on one part, yeah, I totally see that because it would be more identifiable with people who are just coming in, but yet no Greyhawk. You know what I mean?
Right.
But at the same time, I mean, you've already got an established.
Yeah, I know it's tough. It's a tough call. I mean? Yeah, tough call.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see both because she's definitely got a point. Because there's lots of, I mean, even with our hub community that we kind of got going now. With all the different, I don't know, hundreds, thousands of people that are involved with watching these different programs and all these, because I mean, there's all the different Discords, there's the Greyhawk Online, so forth and so on. That's just going to get bigger and bigger. More people will eventually touch base and find out 3 different ways from, however you want to do it.
Right.
And those guys will know Ulick. Some of them.
I know it's a tough call, man. I need this light. I can't. I'm so old. It's a tough call. But my guys don't want to do it. So
Mhm.
my players don't want to do it, and I understand
Right.
that. And I'm just going to leave it as is for now. We're going to see what happens from there. And psh,
Yeah.
you know
I
what's it's
it,
tough because the Twitch rules. I'll lose the Lord Gazummit name forever, kinda.
mhm,
Once you switch
mhm.
it, and I don't think it's that big of a deal because we're doing this for fun. We're doing this to make it a
Yeah.
little a little bit on the sides. Great, but it's really for the love of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Over a true business for us. So it's I don't know, but I was curious because when I saw that came right to my mind when I saw your
Mhm.
change.
Yeah.
It was like wow, yeah, and I was like, oh, it's not his channel name changing; it's his brand. It's
Yeah.
his,
Yeah.
which is cool. I think it's a great
Yeah.
move for you.
Yeah.
Uh, uh,
Because
yeah,
I Tuesdays, because like right now there's a juggling with different things. Friday nights is Ravana, okay, and then Wednesdays will be the Tales of a Savage Land. But Tuesdays is I've pretty much got earmarked is always going to be Greyhawk,
hmm
okay,
hmm
and like I said, that's where I started off with the Return to the Bandit Kingdoms, and I wasn't thinking forward enough with that, when I was like, okay, cool, and then I went ahead
right,
and made the Facebook page, but now it's like, so essentially it'll be like, for now it would be like, if I'd have launched it this way to begin with, it would have been Greyhawk Adventures, the colon Return to the Bandit Kingdoms, and then after that story arc ends, to be Greyhawk Adventures. Um, who knows what I end up doing next? Would be the
right,
next. So
right.
I really, you know what? I might even run another. I don't know. I'm really, I kind of want when the Ghosts of Saltmarsh come out, because I'm definitely going to get that. And I was thinking about running that again, and but I wouldn't be doing that on Tuesdays. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that there, because squeezing in another day is going to be really hard. So
Right, right. And that's I understand that completely. And I've
yeah.
talked to a lot of other people about we do 5 broadcasts every 2 weeks.
Mhm.
That's what we're doing. Mark's every other Monday. I'm every like this Thursday. I'm in Florida, so that's off. But
Mhm.
and that's it. 5 every 2 weeks. And now we have our new Saturday special, which I'll talk about tonight. But that's going to be
Mhm.
every month, 4 to 8 weeks. So it's really not. There's only so many in real life. There's only so many hours in a day that you can do
Yeah.
this, without killing
Well,
yourself or
the the one thing with me, like right now, is that really eats into the time is the prep, and just the different things that I'm doing to make sure that the story isn't just a complete seat of the pants adventure. Which there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you can have a lot of fun.
sometimes.
Yeah, but it's far easier
Yeah,
on me as a DM myself to be able to have the reference material to be able to fall back on too. So, I mean,
right.
my reference material is always loose anyway. I bullet point out and I write up a bunch of different ideas that can be just interchanged wherever I need to, sort of thing. So,
Sometimes for us it's 1 page adventure cards.
yeah.
We have those all in reserve. The old ones, some of them are right out of those Greyhawk. Some of them are right out of these box sets.
Mhm.
The ones, and you can throw them out there if something happens.
Mhm.
With our
Mhm.
flexible way we do it with multiple characters, and we don't have to do that as much anymore. Oh, okay, Bill, that's good. We're gonna open it up to the audience shortly. But this topic came. I wanted to discuss this with Will because, of what had happened with his idea, changeover, which I think is
Mhm.
fantastic. But speaking of preparation, we haven't really discussed about yesterday, man. But you really prepared. I mean, that was great. You guys had a
Yeah.
blast. You guys had a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
fun. I mean,
Yeah, well, we always have a lot of fun. I mean, we BS and cut up as much as we do any kind of serious role playing, even in Bandits, where there's some serious moments from time to time. But
right.
you know, I mean, it's kind of hard because like Adam's my Ed McMahon to my Johnny Carson, and once you put us together, we get to talking and BSing back and forth. It's kind of hard not to yuck
Yeah.
it up a little bit.
But that was, and I want to say this to you personally. Thank you. It's a lot of work setting that up. I know the time frame was really bad for you guys, and I'm sorry. And if
That's all right.
other circumstances had we known about, it could have changed. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But
I look at it this way: we just earned a better time slot.
yeah, I'll say we got some stuff we're going to be coming on discussing with that. I mean, we got some. This was so. Let's talk about that. This was so. If you look at the numbers down below, it was ridiculous. Everyone came. It was like a flood. And I'll say this: the first thing. Hey, Frilly, how you doing? We got a lot of irregulars on. Thanks, guys.
Howdy.
Oh,
Hello.
I shouldn't be showing that in the upper right hand corner. I'm going to get in trouble. So that's something new. So I shouldn't be showing this, but yes, that's going to be a little tidbit down the road. But
Take it off. Put it in the water. Hold on a second.
Take your time.
That's a little cooking thing going on.
That's all right, man. That's all right. So everyone, it was unbelievable for what happened. We had a little incident with one channel flowing into another. That's all I'll say. And it was Will was fantastic. Mark was fantastic. And thank you all. It was just they were both great, and we started up. And thank you to Jacob Jansen. He has a great relationship with one of the largest that I know of crafters on Twitch, Jimmy the Brush. Jimmy the Brush came in and rated our channel right at the start. Right at the start of our broadcast, Jimmy the Brush came in with 88 of his followers.
Hey, sorry about that. My son is cooking dinner.
That's okay, man. No problem.
No problem. The smoke alarm went off.
That's So, by the way, the charities are still open. The cheers are still open tonight, and the charity dollars. Hey, almost everyone who's online right now is chatting. Thank you. You all. It was great. I don't expect. Come on, guys. You were fantastic. So, but we had Jimmy the Brush came in, and it would all craziness broke loose when someone did the unthinkable and gifted 50 subs out. And
wow.
It was insane, and it just wouldn't stop going. Plus of all the, so it was a fantastic evening, and if you combine everything up, we're over $1,000.
That's crazy.
It was a fantastic night. Everyone we did it so. When I started off, I wanted to make it enticing to some of the more sinister viewers, like Brian, Sublime, and Naz, and those guys. And I said, if you give me a cheer for $1,000 or $10 right now, I'm going to add another bad guy. And immediately, boom, boom. Right. So we got a whole bunch there. So I added a second Iron Golem. I only had one. Right. I had a second Iron Golem, and I said, well, if you give me another cheer, I'm going to. So I went from 80 hit points. They went to 80, 144 hit points. And that was kind of the, yes. Look at that. So I did test this characterization. Yeah. So come on, man. It was great. And it just rolled from there. And I think the way things fell throughout the day actually caused our thing at the end to be that much more successful. That's all I'll say about that.
I posted up on the Facebook pages the link to our intro game, and I even on those you can put the donation part. Now that just goes directly to children's St. Jude. So I will have no idea how much comes through that. But even with that, it's like, okay, we'll put that on.
Absolutely.
Donate. Yeah,
I got $100 right from that as well, and that so we ran that in. And Rock says it was a good night. That's not true. Alhana died too. Alhana was dead as well. We had two characters die in the final fight, but that's all right. I mean, that's the way things go. And Hawk always dies. So, and he is got to be. Let's see. If we go back to, I started him in 80, 81. He's 30. The character's 39 years old. Right. I mean, that long I've had that character, and when Tim comes on, we'll talk about Fencing and Leuven. They're that old too. So
yeah, I was just I had there was a post in one of the online discussion groups. Somebody asking about when did you get started, and how old were you?
Right.
And it got me thinking about it. So I did some quick math, and it's like there's nothing better to make your ass feel old.
Yeah, oh my
I was
God.
like, wow,
Yeah.
that's 37 years I've been doing this.
It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little bit.
But I think last night was the coup de grace for us so far. You know what I mean? In our gaming, we've never had that. The totals were insane. We had, you know how Twitch gives you analytics? Over the 5.5 hour period, we had 560 different viewers over that period. Oh yeah, and we never. I think the most we ever did was like 250 before. It was craziness. It was so, and all of our future of Greyhawk, for the majority of them showed up. Carlos Lysing came on. Brian Blomklotz, Greyhawk Mike, they all came on, and they all and there he is, and they all participated, and you know, and some people can give a little, some people give a lot. I appreciate anything you guys did. So while Tim's getting a look at the, he's serious. So Will, go through for us. The characters were really a classic. Go through the baddie characters you had.
Yeah, well, so because what the idea was is when we were originally brainstorming, thinking about what we were going to do. Michael came up with the idea of the reverse dungeon. And I was like, as soon as he mentioned, I was like, yeah, that's what we're going to do, because that'll totally be different, you know? And so then it was a matter of, well, what are we going to play? And I was like, it's a charity event. This is a one-time. Then they're like, well, what kind of magical item can I have? So I don't care. It's like, you guys are going to be playing bad guys, fighting good guys and other bad guys. It doesn't really matter what you have. It's a one-shot. You're not going to break my campaign. It doesn't matter. So,
right.
So I left it completely up to them. At first, the idea that was kicked around, of course, was they were all going to play kobolds. And it's like, well, those are real squishy. And it's like, well, we could buff them up. Or what if you just played a huge group of kobolds? It's like, well, nah. And so that's like, all right, well, just pick whatever you want. And so that's when Michael picked a gazer.
That is awesome. It's like it's like tiny little beholder. It was awesome. Yeah.
And we buffed them up, because essentially what it was is like, because they got the rules in 5e for doing that, where you can take any one monster and you can buff up its CR rating or its crit rating level, whatever the hell you want to call it now. And so they just picked what they wanted, upped them, and then like gave them some ability. So then Michael was playing the Gazer, which was actually pseudo the familiar of Adam's Bugbear Necromancer. And so he was really a spy. He was just sent by his beholder master to go there and steal stuff from Azatus, you see, and I can't call him the Mad Mage or the Mad Wizard, because that goes Watsy just had that. So he's the eccentric wizard. That's what I decided to go with. And then there was Adam played, I said, the Bugbear Necromancer, and Steve just wanted something really super easy, so he was playing Blort, just the ogre, and that was it. And of course, I had to take up the 4 slots, so I have to totally redo the overlay. I just put in the NPC Gak the Kobold, who, depending on how it all went down, was the backup plan because he was a rogue, to do the coup de grace and backstab one of those guys and try and take the orb away from him if necessary. So
it was a great I just loved it. I just loved it because I don't know how many people would have even come up with that idea to start the event off. Like, you know, this wizard's got it, and these, you know, and the bad guys are, the methods come. Tim loved that part. Tim, right? You were watching that?
Yeah.
Methods.
Yeah. He loved it. He thought,
"Are you guys enemy? No. We work here."
Yeah. Well, and part of it too, it's like I didn't realize because I made up the encounter. The encounters were all modular, so that I could add or subtract depending on how I needed for time. So it wasn't one linear. It was like, okay, you finish that, then I'll just knock in the next one. And they were actually pretty smart, because they did everything that I was expecting them hopefully that they were going to do. Like when they went to the chessboard, it's like, okay, we'll see if they figure it out with the killing of, and that's where I instituted that whole make an intelligence save because you work here. Do you remember what's going on where you work, sort of thing? So yeah,
it was. I just loved it. And
thanks. I appreciate
my son
that.
was watching it. He loved it. He loved it too. So
Great.
yeah, definitely. And it kicked it off well because it went right into Mark's, and I know Mark's not on, and Mark's mother's birthday party, so he couldn't make it tonight.
Gotcha.
But Mark's story was cool, and it was almost like it was kind of how do I put this? He really rode them through and got them all excited and scared, and he didn't do any fights, which was kind of cool because they were brand new first level characters, Shieldlanders, and they are going to be on tomorrow night with those characters. So he didn't want to bring out a new set of characters, dump them off, and then go to something else. So he went with them, and he did it great. And see, Mark loves to torture me, and I guess all of them, Brian, Naz, they all love to, and he knows my disdain for Dragonlance, right? But he loves it, and so he weaseled in to his whole storyline, Draconians. I was like, oh my god, he's got Draconians in the Shieldlands. I can't think of anything else worse, right? Oh my gosh, but it's just part of. Hey, do whatever you want.
Don't let Adam hear you say you don't like Dragonlance. That's his thing. Man.
Oh, is it? That's cool.
He loves Dragonlance. Yeah, he keeps kicking around that he wants to run a Dragonlance campaign. He wants to. And I think you could do this now because there's so many players out there that don't just know it anymore. He wants to. You remember when they first came out, they had the modules and you could play the book. Yeah. So like it would actually go through what happened in the book. So that's what he was going to do.
I think what ruined it for Jay was the Gully Dwarves.
Oh, that's in the first module.
Yes.
That's
the only things I remember about. I don't like that.
And the Kenders. With the
Kender, I don't like that either.
With hoopax. You get backstab with it. How the hell you backstab with a lacrosse stick? I mean, I'm like, oh my gosh. So
that's when you bust out the old tried and true. Yeah, well, it's a fantasy world.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. So, so he did that, and the connection with Takesis Tiamat was great. His whole storyline was cool, and I know a lot of the people. Ingenuity. I'm getting my stones busted now by people. There's a lot of. It was extremely descriptive, and I know I was sitting on Discord with Icarus Christoph, who runs our Discord for Greyhawk Online, and is proprietor of Greyhawk Online itself. Yeah, and he goes, "This is fantastic." He's weaving a story that you're drawn into, and he hasn't rolled a die. And I said, well, that's why Mark wanted to do this, and let me do all the dice rolling with Tim at the end of the night. So, so that was kind of the story behind it, and he was really and there goes a Kender gnome. Yeah, Frank. Oh my God, we'll have to talk about that. So, I can't say enough for both of you, Mark and you, Will, how great the startups were. I mean, it just really got things rolling. It was a
pleasure. I jumped at the opportunity to do it. It's twist my arm to have a good time, sort of thing.
Oh man.
So yeah.
And for us, we got on. It was late enough we could be drinking too. So and Tim's dad, John. What did he bring? That what scotch was that?
Oban,
and my wife was even drinking it. So and then Alan brought a bunch of beer, and so we were having. You could see Walt was falling asleep at the table because he was, of course, if he's drinking a lot already, and so we did some cheers and stuff. But
we actually had a guy pass out on camera. True story. When the first group of people that Jarris had the first cast for Ravana, there was one fellow, and I forget his name. Nice guy. I mean, but he had started drinking and didn't pace himself with what he was doing. And there's a part, and it's all caught on film, because there's a part where he just starts slowly going forward, and it just doesn't stop, and then he's just laying on his desk.
That's awesome.
And they're still rolling because his camera was live. He didn't disconnect the feed or nothing. So through the rest of, I think it's like halfway through, he winds up passing out, and then he's just passed out the rest of the episode. Just I was like, oh my god.
Mango, the big Super Mario Brothers guy, who's a big Eagles fan, he passed out online on Twitch. They banned him for like a week or two. So he
really?
went and just crashed. Yeah, it's on one of those Twitch fail compilations happened a little while ago. So
when I was watching the Mark's group, I was like nerding out on the horizontal screen, the big giant.
Oh my gosh! And Jeff's not on. He must have had something to do. Jacob Jansen. Everyone loves that table. That is he custom built that. It is, and he has the specs on it, and he will give anyone the specs he wants because he built it to a specification that was already out there, and then he put the flat screen in, covered it in glass, and then made it so that he could close it up, and put the terrain over top of it. So it's a multi-use table, and I know a lot of people who hadn't watched their show, and
digital mapping meets tabletop.
Exactly, and that's what's so cool, Tim. The difference is we're on the same channel, but there's a huge difference in our outlay on play. And he uses Realmworks, and Anna Meyer. When he first met Anna Meyer at Gen Con, that's when he learned about Realmworks, and he could do fog of war stuff on the maps. So you can have it fogged up, and as the map comes, it opens up and stuff, and he can blow it up so that it works with the figures. And it's a cool setup. It's different, and so that's what I like. We like variety, and
right, you can do that. And if you can't have the space and the resources to have the small Lilliputian city that you have in your room,
yeah,
right,
yeah. I mean, seriously, I'm lucky. We're lucky. Your dad. Here's a funny story. Your dad comes down the stairs, and he hadn't been there in I don't know 2-3 years. He looks down. And he looks at the. Are those all new shells on that wall? Because we have around the table. I was like, yeah, it wraps. And Bill Sashar scoring. Bill the Master Crafter on here. It wraps all the way around, all the way to the TV, the old plasma, and then I got room for 4 more of the small half IKEA shells. And I said, all that is filled with Bill's crafts, all of it, winter scenes. And he's like, your dad's like, what? Wow! And so Bill and Jeff, they did fantastic, and there's some pictures up
legit.
now. Yeah, it's legit how good he is.
That's a level of commitment I can never attain. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
Different play styles, but I'll say this, and Bill probably saw this. Jimmy the Brush was very impressed with Bill's work, and I said to him, I haven't really told him, but I said to him, you should just talk to him. I'm not talking about broadcast or anything like that, but just talk to him about, share some ideas, especially your maps on the little tabletops. He loved those things. So, Bill was only one of our main group who couldn't be there. He had something with his son, so he couldn't make it. But we had a good time with that. So Realmworks is awesome. Yeah, rocks. I agree. So let's talk about maybe some of the highlights, and then we'll get into some character stuff. So, what would be the highlight, Will, of what happened in your 4 hours?
Well, in my opinion, the highlight is where at the very end. So you got Ed the Gazer and Urstus the Necromancer Bugbear decide to. I had to remind him, and I forgot that when I typed the whisper.
Yeah.
To Adam, because I needed to remind him. So I did the whisper on Roll20. Go, hey, don't forget, the end's coming up here, so forth, so on. Your character wants the orb. Okay, just a reminder. I forgot that pops up in the thing that's on there. It's like, don't look at that. That's. But when they start going at it, because it's like they're both going to want the orb. I love the fact that at the end, Blort just goes. Or, he's just looking for the nightmare. He's just wandering off into the sunset, right. And you got these two guys fighting over getting the possession of the orb, and then of course
the gazer gets put down by the necromancer, and then the necromancer, in supposed triumph, holds it up, and then poof, it
Yeah.
just turns to
So
dust.
was it Blort or was it? I know the name was Glort.
I jacked it up because when I built the overlay stuff, I glort. I put it with a G. And it's
Okay.
like that's when we were monkeying around and we were joking around at the beginning. It's like, well, that's spelled in Goblin, so it's actually a silent B G, and there's like a thing on the over the
Well,
top.
the cool thing is he's Steve Buscemi in Reservoir Dogs, right? He gets away.
There you go.
So
That's right.
and that was cool. So it wasn't a complete total party kill on that. And
Right.
absolutely. And I'll speak for Mark on his. But Tim, Tim, what do you think? What do you think? What was a highlight for you with Mark's?
Well, actually, there was during the day. I wasn't sitting there playing. Like I was mostly listening to it and checking in so every so often. So what really struck me is just the well, actually on both was just how much fun everyone was having. When you hear people laughing, well, it's not just carrying on completely, but you can just tell it's just unbridled enthusiasm and enjoyment of the moment, and what's going on. That's what struck me the most in the first two.
I have to go back and watch it in the rerun because I took a nap.
Yeah, they came on. You came on ours late. I mean, it was like midnight. Well, at 10 o'clock. Yeah, it was pretty
late by the time because I went and I went and I had afterwards because we did Ravana the night before, so that didn't get over until late. And then after Ravana, and then we got up early. So I went and I took a nap, and then afterwards I got up and did my errands and came back. But so that's like 10 o'clock my time. So because there's a 2-hour difference is when I finally got around to be able to go and chime in and see everything. So, but I tend to do that anyway. Like I'll catch a lot of the stuff in the aftermarket when I'm at work.
Which is cool, and that's the great thing about YouTube. Porting it over to YouTube or having the rerun on there. And Naz just was saying, well, he was up and it was 4 o'clock in the UK. So I saw, Sprocket came on early. I didn't see Sprocket on at 4 o'clock in the UK, but that's right. Skagith came on, and Skagith's another hour or two in Norway, and he must have come on, and it must have been like 3 or 4 or 5 a.m. his time. And and you see how we have $596.66. He did $6.66. I was like, cool, good old Skagith, with the donation. But I'll say this for Marks: when he had the gate up, and they saw all the Draconians through it, like an army of it on the other side in Kryn, and they all got scared shitless from it. I think that was my highlight on it. It was a very foreboding moment that he did, and he did it very, very well. And I think that's it for Mark.
Mark's really good at painting a picture.
Absolutely, he's good. He's very good at painting a picture. It's been there. Oh, there you go. All right, Tim. Yes. Hey, he starts. There we go. Another nice cheer. So for that one, I'm going to do this. Since I don't have a game this week, that's 2 special hero points to Mark's guys tomorrow night. I'll let them know so far, and maybe we'll have some more of them. And that was the neat thing. I have the log here. These special hero points we gave out for every good cheer at 500. Alhana has 4. She never used any. Abdul never used any either, but the rest of the group used a lot of them. And there was a lot of saves that were made by that. So that worked out well with the cheers. That worked out very well. And I'll say this with our broadcast. We got, there was records set, and the money was fantastic. But the chat, you know how you get so many VIP badges for how many chat? So we had 20 VIP badges, and I was out of them. And this is good news for a lot of people. Maybe if you give a shit. So we had 20 VIP badges. we hit the 15 chatter, the 20 chatter, and the 25 chatter achievements last night, and we got 30 more VIP badges. So I got 50 now. So I can give some more out to some people who are deserving of it. So I'll be starting to do that.
Yeah, I see you got your subscribe button up there in all its glory.
Yeah, it went very, very well. It did, and
that's great.
Yeah, the community came together. After Tim and I had a long talk today about I don't want to be negative at all, so I'm not going to be. But the community came together through all three channels, and it built up and built up and built up to a crescendo. And I'm so happy for everyone in the community. And it seems like there's nothing going on negatively on any of the channel, on the Discord or whatever. It's back to normal, which is cool. And we're going to keep on cranking it up. We're going to have more ideas. I think this is going to lead to some other stuff, some other ideas.
I hope so.
Yeah,
sure.
So, Will, if you can bear with us for a minute, we're going to. I know Tim is eager to talk about the fight. All right, so he's very eager to talk about the fight because a first happened.
I want, it was going to be my highlights. I was figuring I could at least put up my highlights.
Yeah, absolutely. But come on, talk about what happened that we don't think ever happened in 39 years of gaming together.
It was it was an adventure where Fencing did not take a single point of damage.
Yep. His 15th level mage, and I'm looking on the screen here. The only one that didn't take any damage, not one point, and which is insane when you think about it. With Miracle the Chaotic up there on the top of the hill throwing down Raleigh's Wild Bolts and Legolas Weird Wild Balls, and Naz already brought this up, and a couple others did. The fight turned, and I brought this out because I know a lot of people are interested in wild mages, and we really didn't discuss them that much. But the wild mage class is pretty cool and nasty in second edition, and you have your level variation table.
Where did that first get published? In
Tome of Magic.
In the Tome of Magic.
Tome of Magic. Okay, there's your level variation table. And so when they cast a spell, they roll on that table. And if you're 9th or level higher, the levels can go up or down in scale. And if you roll 9, and a surge goes off. Well, he had a prep spell called Wild Zone. I can't believe the area effect on it. It's sick. So I kind of scaled that back a little bit. So any of the bad guys, anytime they cast a spell on it, when he teleported down, they set off a surge on them, a wild surge. And it was like Fencing turned into a female. Sex change. Abdul turned into a female. So sex change. And you had your feet big, right? Your footprints turned big.
Footprints, I leave monstrous footprints, but he likes that though. That's pretty cool.
Hey Mike, how you doing, man? Good to see you too tonight. I know we got thanks for coming on last night too, and just like everyone else who's in the chat who came on last night and contributed. Thank you. All magic items glowed. Right, there's all sorts of crazy stuff that was happening. It was awesome.
The biggest thing was when he did the thing and the surge gave the positive.
Right. Well, here's the spell. Okay, it's called Legolas Weird Wild Ball. Now, if anyone knows, back in the '90s whenever Tome Magic came out, I can't even remember the date. There weren't enough spells. So what we did was we combed the Great Net spellbook. I did. Let me rephrase that. I combed it for days and weaned out some spells. So, and they can take general mage spells. They can't take elemental spells. They get magic user spells. So here's the wild magic spell list as we know through 9 levels of spells. You can see there's not a lot of spells on here. But this is like half. If you take out the ones we have from the Great Net spellbook, it's a half of this. So there's barely any wild magic spells. But there's some great spells. And I can think of 3 that I cast last night. The first one is Raleigh's Wild Bolt, which is a 2nd level spell, and it's probably their nastiest single target spell. They take and they can do damage themselves of die 3 plus 1 in level up to their level total. And they can take the +1 off, or they can do a little less. So he was doing like 16 die 3 on himself. He takes that damage. He shoots out a bolt of energy at the damage he did it on himself, die 4s. No save. It's nasty. So that's how Hawk got killed. And what did he do? He did like, I don't know what he did to whoever else he hit. He hit Ingot, and he hit Ingot for like 80, 90 points with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, Naz. It was covered under the HM. Yeah, so that was spell number 1, and we've always used that spell to great effect. Number 2, which we'd never used in a campaign before, except on a scroll, was, and Brian's gonna bust it. He was busting my stones this afternoon. He said to me, "Why was Wolfgar there?" Well, from Forgotten Realms, from the Drizzt books. I had the Wolfgar figure, and I'm thinking to myself, he's going to cast this Nikki's Berserker spell. It's a 7th level spell. And I'm going to use the Wolfgar figure instead of some other random Berserker, right? So.
Well, they just have the same tailor. Use
Wolfgar's not totally original name. That doesn't sound that exotic to me.
Yeah, but that's who it is, and Salvatore, that's who is, and like I said, no one never dies in an R.A. Salvatore book, so, ever. But he was, taken by Yokelol once, and he got back, and all this. Oh my gosh! But so that was the answer to that, Brian. Was I used that figure? Well, this thing is nasty. It's like he created a 17th level fighter out of thin air with this spell, and that thing messed up some people. And that was spell number 2 I used. It was different. Now, he had a maze run on himself all night. I didn't tell you. That makes him immune to the spell maze. I was waiting for someone to maze him, but no one did.
Too high level, man.
Well, no. Kroger, as an illusionist, it's only a 5th level spell. I was waiting for it to come. I had that defense up. But the lastly thing was the Raleigh's Wild Bolt. Now, this spell, you roll a die. It's not a fireball. It's a special fireball. You roll a die 20. And then the effect can be, and I'll give you some: 1's fire, 2 magma, 3 earth, ooze, water, ice, air, smoke, radiance, ash, minerals, dust, steam, salt, lightning, vacuum. And I rolled a 17 on the second time, positive energy. The effects are following: hit points, it gives you positive, it heals you. Hit points go over total hit points, but if the creature doubles the initial hit points, they explode. This does double damage to undead, and they get a save for half damage. So I did 90 some points of healing on one person who was way down, and they went up to, like, Milana went up to 200 some hit points because yeah, and it healed right, it healed Railstone. So that's
Marco blew up, and then he used one of his special.
That's right. He went so high. He used a hero point to put himself below the
max to ever be.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Just the randomness of it was a blast. So, Will, how much of it did you caught? You caught about a half hour of it, you think?
What's that now?
Will, did you caught about a half hour of it? Probably. I mean, it's a big fight.
Roughly.
Yeah, I appreciate you hopping on, man. I know you probably beat.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a blast, and the moment, and a lot of people, Rocks, I think, and Naz put this up already. The moment that changed the fight was what, Tim? Early on.
Was Tom the Vindicator's move?
Yes, absolutely. Tom the Vindicator.
Greater Beholder.
Yeah, I didn't even get to use it, really. Awesome. He teleported behind the. There was 2 people in the front. He teleported behind the Beholder, the Greater Eye Tyrant, which had come out. And then you guys got initiative, and then he popped. Feeble-minded it. It couldn't anti-magic ray because it was from behind. Feeble-minded it. A ton of cheers to lower this. I said, all right, guys, this is vital. What did I get? 4,000 in cheers right on that?
-8.
-8 in the save, 4,000 in cheers. And Naz, I'm going to talk about that in a second, too. That was a great moment, too. That's an old spell. And it failed its save. I rolled a 4. It would have failed anyway. And that was it for that Greater Eye Tyrant. I didn't even get to use it. That kind of really skewed. That changed over the, what had happened. I only had to use Just No on Tim one time. So that was we had the argument about the Wall of Force. So that's a good question. Oh my, Tom!
A discussion, not an argument.
Yeah, that's right. A discussion. Yes, Tom. I guess.
So it's not really an
Thanks,
argument.
Tom. Thank you again, man.
Yeah.
As I said, it's all going right into the kitty for all this. All this is going right to St. Jude as well. So if anyone wants our custom stuff on the Wild Mage, our custom spells, I'm more than happy to give them to you. I love the class. We don't use it enough. I have in the Legion, I have Jacqueline Tyneman. She's a 12th level Wild Mage. But that's it. We really don't. We have some here and there that are player characters, but I love the Wild Mage.
I'm more of a traditionalist, and I don't like them. I think that it's for gamblers.
It is for serious gamblers.
It's definitely for gamblers.
Clearly, it's for
Absolutely. It is definitely. So another note, and Naz just brought this up. So there's a spell called Dispel Exhaustion. It's, I think, a fourth level illusion spell. It goes all the way back to the original player's handbook. You know how you look at this, you have a class and you're like, this class sucks, right? You know, and everyone thought about that with first edition Druids, and there's good stuff in there, and first edition Illusionists. Everyone's, you got to delve into the class, especially when Arcana came out. So, yeah, I was told that, Naz, too, that there's a wild magic sorcerer, and we'll talk about that shortly tonight, about that, too, about 5e. Rocks, I will do, man. I will send that to you. So, Tempest Fugit he uses great because you can get back all your spells. There's that's one of the good spells, and that came out in Arcana. But Dispel Exhaustion does the following, and I think it's 4 targets total. He casts a spell in that round, and he had 24-inch movement. You touch, and it gives them the illusion, but it's real because that damage comes off first, that 50% of their hit points that are down get healed. And he uses it to great effect. Alan does with Kroger Blackrock, his Illusionist Thief, his gnome. He went, boom, all the people were way down, boom, 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 ran through the fight, got them all up 50%. And for Inga, it was like 60 hit points, and kind of saved. So there was that moment that there were some people about to fall. He ran through, great point, Naz. He ran through and Dispel Exhaustion them. So, and this is what, we have players that have been playing for so long, they know these tricks, right? Tim knows the tricks too, but correct?
But he's more of a traditionalist, though.
No, I don't. All I'm saying is it was my personal bias against wild mages, but they do make things exciting. But
tell us what you had prepped on your fencing. Tell everyone what spells you had prepped on fencing. I got them right here. Detect magic, detect invisibility, right? Fire shield.
You mean right before the fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fire shield, protection against heat.
No, protection against cold.
Right, hot flames. You're right.
Right, because I had the Helm of Brains.
Minor global vulnerability, and my favorite of all time, which is go for it. 3 spells, chained.
Stone Skin Contingency, Stone Skin.
Yes, so
that assassin comes up, and you're like, "Oh no, denied."
Yeah, and then another one comes up, and they're denied too. So that's and you didn't get dispelled. So even though Mario cast, So,
I pushed I do use project image, and I pushed myself in forward and used that to.
You did. And 2 people used it.
I was trying to get more angles because I had area effect stuff that everybody was. They crowded the monsters, which they had to do, but it left less openings for me because I had some, Cone of Cold was probably one of the most damaging higher level spell that, a minor globe would not, interfere with. But.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Here's surprise number 1 for all the viewers. Twitch added a 9-month subscriber little token. So now it doesn't go to 6 to 12. It goes 6, 9, 12. Take a look on my chart. The Michael Baton sword, Naz, and all those will be available to you at month 9, and you are month 8 already, I know. So you will get Michael Baton's sword next month, and we'll have a new one. We'll have a new one for the 12, or the company I got them from is working on it. So that was a little surprise number 1. I found that out over the weekend, and they said, "Well, put your 12 in the 9. We'll get you a 9. We'll get you another one." So there you go. So the golden Michael Baton sword will be available on month 9 now. So that's surprise number 1 we have for you guys. I got a real big one though coming up too. Would you guys do it again?
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
saying next week, but down the road.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm anticipating it.
Oh, good. I'm thinking,
like I
this,
said, though,
You're
we're
good.
going to lobby for a new time slot.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree, because I think we're going to have some other channels that want to participate in something. And Frank's watching now, Nightheart Gaming. I know Frank would be fantastic at it. And he
Yeah.
does such a professional
No doubt.
presentation.
I really like their layout and stuff.
It's beautiful.
I caught just a little bit of, they had something going on the ship, but they had the bar down at the bottom with all the players, and then the up above it was the action, and where they were doing with the with the mini cameras and the miniatures and stuff. Great stuff. So, and
Frank's there.
Yeah,
We're
that's
talking
one of the
about you,
reasons
Frank.
that's the reason I host your show, man. It's good shit.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's great, good stories. It's 5e, but all right. So Will's 5e too. So no, I'm just kidding. And but Frank's already. We've talked already, so I may stretch it out to 24 hours and fill in some. Yeah, but we don't do Greyhawk. We'll do something else. We'll do some other ideas, right? We'll do something. We'll get some other channels involved. Ian wants to do something too. Ian felt a little left out. He said, "I'll do Greyhawk. I'll go back and do Greyhawk." So, yeah, absolutely, Frank. Ian's another miniature style too. We'll get something. We'll get together a team, and Sublime, who's Brian, my good friend from the old WoW days, who really helps moderate this. I know he's playing a game right now, remotely and moderating at the same time. So he's a trooper. He wants his group that he DMs for in Michigan, a gaming store will they don't want to broadcast regularly. They will broadcast for charity events. So I'll add another Lord Gazumba DM to that mix too, and maybe they'll do the early time or something. We'll figure it out. We'll get it all. So I'm glad to hear that, because I never thought we'd reach $1,000. I'm so
Right,
humbled by all the charity that everyone was seeing. It's still building up now. I never thought I'd see 35,000 in chats and cheers. That's unbelievable. And just the cash donations too, and combine that all, and it's just been it's been a great time so far. What do you think about like? I know. I'm all Greyhawk all the way, but it doesn't even have to be a story plot line. It could be something different. But I guess we could talk about that down the road. Will, talk to me about your other what you're doing right now as far as expansion on your channel. I think people want to know. I know you got a lot of new followers from this. What are you guys up to? I mean, I want you to toot your own horn here.
Okay.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Well, the first thing that's happening is what we discussed a little bit about that earlier, where I was rebranding the Return to the Bandit Kingdoms, because that's really what I opened up the channel with. Now, the channel itself is Wicked Studios LLC. That's the Twitch channel,
Right.
and then that's just the company in general. I do multiple things under Wicked Studios, but in Return to the Bandit Kingdoms, I love the Bandit Kingdoms, but that kind of like pinch you in, and it's like, well, I want to do other stuff in Greyhawk besides just the Bandit Kingdoms. So what I did is I was just rebranding the Facebook page. I was going to merge them, but I guess it's not letting me do that. So I'm giving it a little bit and then shutting it down, and then it's going over. It's going to be, and I was surprised nobody had this. It's going to be Greyhawk Adventures.
Good,
I thought for sure that would have been taken.
Well, that's
it wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
So so basically, what Tuesday nights has become, that is not just Tuesday nights on Wicked Studios LLC, is not Return to the Bandit Kingdoms. It's Greyhawk Adventures. Return to the Bandit Kingdoms is the show that's currently on there, and that'll change. Wednesday nights, starting April 10th, is Tales of Savage Land is going to be starting, and that is actually the Savage Worlds rule set. And so I'm expanding out in that. The reason I'm doing that is because my local con is super, super huge in Savage Worlds.
Okay.
So, and that's the Denver Con, Genghis Con. And so I
Genghis.
wanted to do,
That's pretty
yeah,
cool.
I know that's a great name, right?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely doing that and getting that put together. So we'll have the 3 shows. We'll have Return to the Banded Kingdoms. We'll have Tales of a Savage Land and Ravana.
There you go.
And eventually, like I said, Return to the Banded Kingdoms is going into like its final leg. Now, granted, that can last for some time before the story arc comes to an end.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically what'll happen is we'll have a new Greyhawk story going to be happening on Tuesday in Greyhawk Adventures. So, and that's where, and then I was kicking around. It's like, I want to, when Ghost of Saltmarsh come out again, I was like, oh man, I really want to run that. But I was like, man, do I want to run that much in 1 week? That's an awful lot.
Oh man, that is, it looks like mega, and it just, but we've run all those. They're all in Dungeon magazines. All the other ones beyond that, and we ran them. I went through the list. Like I ran that 20 years ago. I ran that 25 years ago. So I don't know. We'll see on that. So Tim,
I get excited because I don't have to do the conversion.
Yeah, that's true. That's true for 5 year. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Tim, what do you take out of? And tell me some of your tactical highlights of Leuven to. Even with Fensick, what do you take out of what we did? What do you think? What do you take out of my preparation for you?
Well, I was the reason I was so prepped as far as fencing goes is because I knew there was prep going on, and it was a high-level wizard, and I'm like, oh no, this could turn sideways quite quickly, turn really ugly. And Leuven is 7 intelligence. He's got some common sense, but it's not that
18th
bright.
level halfling thief.
So he can sneak it in out because he's got good judgment in some things, but he's a halfling. He can be brave, and
when he flew right up on the broom of flying, like what the hell's he doing? But that was cool. Yeah.
I mean, he got them fast. Got them super fast, and then he used the scarab of. Is that when he used a scarab of insanity?
Yeah.
He tried to something insane.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
he gave it a shot.
Useless for a long time.
Yeah, he fought a lot melee, which was surprising me. Not even backstabbing, but I guess at that point you just want to get things down as quickly as you can. You don't want to rehide and all. So that was cool.
There was nowhere. At one point, he was fighting because there was nowhere to go. Mm-hmm. If he ran one way, he's hitting something, and then he definitely didn't want to fly high. I mean,
no, I was hoping. I was like, come on, get way up there in the air with these dragons coming. And there's a picture of the dragons Bill painted, and up there, those pictures do them no justice, guys. Up close, they are unbelievable. So, Bill, if you're, thanks, man. They're unbelievable looking, and I didn't tell you this, but
I didn't realize my friend was so talented. Frankly,
yeah, I didn't want to tell you this, but I dropped the white one. I'm kidding. Yeah, so that mound, I have no place to store that mound. It's so big. You see in that picture there. I'm putting it on that round table. It's staying there. I have no place to store that. So I'm running out of room, and I gotta get more of my IKEA tabletops going around on that. So Tim, one more thing here. What do you think? What do you want to play next in ours? Like that you will be available. Do you have any? I'm just curious because I know you're very limited time wise, and what would you like? Yeah, you can think of that.
Yeah, I'll have to think about it. I mean, I have I have characters in every level.
Yeah.
As far as the levels of it goes, but I like the ones where you're not sure what the objective is because you're doing something else and then on the way something happens. The vampire under the box sort of.
Yes.
That was really fun. We were going to a tournament. We were going to a tournament and a celebration, and there were a number of, subplots in there that
it's always good to have those, isn't it? It's always good to have something where your eyes are taken away from the main objective.
Tournaments, there was something the guy on YouTube who does the animated spell book. he's got a little piece about where they were getting together with some folk, and they were going to run a PvP event, which he was like, oh great, I don't want to do this crap, blah blah blah, and so what it turned out is it was a tournament event where all the different players had to participate, and there was like skills tests, archery tests, jousting, all kinds of different things. So as in, they weren't really like going against each other, but then it was like, and then whoever won got, there was like prizes at the end, a title, and then like some like really rare magic item. And the thing is they were doing all kinds of like side stuff, and he was like cheating to win and paying off this guy and bribing these people and bribing these judges, and like that was all the role playing interaction and whatnot. So yeah, if you do a tournament, do that.
We've done a lot of tournaments back in the day. We did the Night of Yule 10-year anniversary, and that was a long time ago. That's how sick that is. And we've done some other things. We did a wedding, one of Alan's characters' wedding, and it was a whole big. But I think that was the Tringley Midsummer Festival one where you found it under the box, the vampire.
Yeah. So yeah,
I think so.
It was a social gathering. We were going for some sort of celebratory reason that was fun, and just like people do, and it was a lot of subplots. I also liked when we did the solo adventure. It wouldn't be solo, but I liked the subterfuge of High Court and the Thieves Guild, and kind of trying to like work your way through the various taverns and the various
yeah, Tim was stationed in Watertown, New York. What you were, back in the day, and I drove up there, and we did a whole bunch of one-on-one adventures, and that was nice. That was pretty cool too. Absolutely. But speaking, you said cheating. We're gonna bring out little tidbit number for Naz and everyone else. Tidbit number 2 tonight. So let me just slow this down here. Okay. So
5 minutes.
What's that? You got 5?
Yeah,
That's cool. No problem. I know we're going to cut it early tonight. We're no later than 9 p.m. We'll be but if you got to bolt early, it's fine. So we got so many of these subs that there's affiliates get emotes based on the number of subs you have. So we were at 3 tier 1 emotes, and everyone knows what they are, and they are the J Fumble Wahead. Okay, that's one. The Order of Ulick, and the brand new Rest in Peace, Another Death, and those are the 3 right there, and I brought them out. Okay, there are 3 tier 1 emotes. Now we have a tier 2, which and tier 3 I don't expect anyone to ever do. One of them is Tim's head, the critical hit, shit-eating grin of Tim, right, and that's his head. And then you have the No Just No, an old friend who's picking his nose, and we say that's my DM. No, just no. Discussions ended, right? So we got a new one coming. Brian has worked on it today, and for all you people who say I cheat all the time, as Will mentioned that about cheating, and it's probably you've seen it in the scroll, in April sometime whenever they open this up, here will be our new emote for you guys. You'll probably like this. Here we go. There it is, okay? It's got a 20-sided die of all 20s on it, and it just says cheater on it. So we're gonna call this we're gonna call this Jay's cheating again, or something like that. You guys want to name it? That's fine. We got time because it hasn't opened up yet. But that'll be our new tier 1 emote. Sub for you guys is Jay's Dice, and that's calls it. So there you go. But Brian, look at that, all 20s on it. So Brian developed that. Yes. I know you guys would like that. So next month when that opens up, we'll get that in and get that submitted and approved. So there's another tidbit for our hardcore followers. Need a fishy one. Well, we'll have one more in May. The affiliates get 5 tier 1s if they have so many subs. So we'll be good. We'll get one in May, and we could do one more, and we could talk about that. Yeah, Tom, I know you'd like that too. So Jay's Dice or Jay's cheating again. You guys decide what you want me to call it, and that we'll call it that. So
hey, thanks, Jay.
Tim, thanks, man, for hopping on. Will and I will finish this up. So what do you think? We're going to start a Druid group up. We start the Druid group up, and we'll talk about the Saturday night specials. I'll catch you offline in the future. But I appreciate you hopping on, and Will and I will finish this up. So talk to you soon.
Thanks so much.
Bye, Tim.
See you, man. So I'm glad to hear that that you're expanding and going into 3 channels. That's great. We're gonna do a lot more things as far as jointly. Hopefully, we continue. If anyone who's on now is not on the Greyhawk Online Discord, you really should get on there. I know Rox and Naz and Tim and Will and I are on there, and Frank, maybe you even want to try it, and some of the other people watching, you may want to get on there. It's in the link is on the Cannon Fire server and Facebook, but it's a good place to see what's going on. We both have sub channels of chat in there, and you can check that out as well, just to see what. Frank, I'll send you. We'll send it. As we're talking here, I'll pop it in the Discord. I'll pop it up. It's free. No, we don't. You don't have to be a sub of anything or whatever. But I appreciate you subbing to us. You don't need to do any of that. It's anyone who wants to join can join it. Yes, excellent. That's good to hear. Well, we're looking to expanding the community, and that was what this whole thing was about. Well, don't you think this was trying to get?
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. So what do you think about except for all positive talk here?
I think it went smashingly. I think one of the things, the best part, second best, because helping the kids. I mean,
absolutely.
But the second best part is the fact that because there's so many little like pods of people who are like into the same thing. You're into the Greyhawk, you're into D&D, and there's these little sub communities. We got some on Discord, we got some over here on this channel, got some over there. And so those people come together and just getting to know each other, getting to realize that, oh hey, it's a bigger community. So it's just making it into something that's much larger than any one community, but like everybody as a group, as a whole. So, and yeah, I think that was great. It's like I had tons of new people, coming in, and even at that early hour, I was really impressed with how many people woke up early to come and check things out. So,
and I knew that Mark and his group were going to go, and they're going to have breakfast there, and they're going to watch you. And I would, I do, but I was so happy that it was in the 30s, 40s, whatever. It was great. I mean, that early in the morning, and you were the top. I can't even say for us, we weren't, because Hyper RPG, you were the top broadcast at that time during that 4 hour. Because I kept on checking, because I like you had the most people on in the morning, and I guess
I should hope so.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. If not,
that speaks volumes.
Yeah, no, that was good. I mean, normally you see guys that are on at that time in the morning that have 5, 2, whatever, but that was a huge thing. I think that kicked it off really well. And
and that's one thing too that I'm looking at possibly for the future is maybe changing some dates and times, because like I just, when I started Bandits, I just blindly picked the day and the time. It's like, hey, that works for me, let's do it. And of course I'm opposite quarter swords. So I'm going up against Me JP, which I listen to those guys. So know.
I mean, he's a big. But hey, I'm up against Critical Role.
You are.
On Thursday night.
You got me beat. Man. You got me beat.
You go on there, it's 52,000, and it's a different viewing audience though. Totally. It is. It's I got my old school people with a couple 5Es like Naz spattered in, and it really is a it's open. I like to see.
I actually think that Ghosts of Saltmarsh is really going to help spike a little more interest in Greyhawk.
Really?
I actually think it will as a whole. And I think basically WotC's really putting their toe into the water and checking that out. I don't think they'll ever go back to Greyhawk as a whole, but I think what they'll do is they'll take a lot of the older pre-existing stuff and do like what they're doing now, make it location neutral, so you can put it anywhere, but like have in the book a couple of pages of, hey, if you want to drop this here, here's this, and here's some suggestion, or here's some conversion rules and so forth. And because people, there's one thing that you've got this wave of new people coming in and everybody's finding out about it, and people are starting to want to know some about the history. You know, the people who are getting really hardcore into the hobby are like, hey, well, where does this come from? And like, it's like, oh, so this came out of well, what's Dungeon Magazine? Or, this, that was part of the U series. Well, what is a U? What was,
that's true.
And so they'll start taking a look into it, and well, you can't look into the history of D&D and not run smack dab into Greyhawk.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
That's I don't know my and I go Carlos and
I'm pretty sure they're going to mention.
Yeah, Frank, thank you, man. Come on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they will. That's in Temple of Elemental. What was the name of it? I got it back here somewhere.
Which one?
The Elemental one they got. Princes of the Apocalypse. Okay, that was their version of basically they were doing the same thing. They're like, okay, well, we're going to take Temple of Elemental Evil, and we're going to do a 5e spin, and we'll throw it up into the realms. Well, there is in there. It talks about Greyhawk, and there's a section at the back that says, and of course, I just looked at it and lost it. Right in the back here, it talks about Greyhawk.
I did not know that ever. See, I had never cracked open a 5e book in my life yet, and that's a funny discussion that we're going to have here.
And I don't know if you guys can see it, but like in the back of the book, right here, you see it right there?
Okay. Greyhawk. Oh, it actually says it too.
Yeah, Greyhawk. It's talking about the setting and basically where the stuff comes from that they're using for a big part of this, and how that was the inspiration for it. And I'm assuming they'll do the same thing with Ghosts of Saltmarsh. But I mean, there's a huge well of stuff for them to use, and probably one of the biggest secret pushers for Greyhawk, believe it or not, it's Matt Mercer.
I've heard that.
Matt Mercer uses so much Greyhawk stuff in his campaign; it's not even funny. He's a big fan of it.
But he's not doing a Greyhawk campaign. There's a difference.
No. There is a difference. There is a difference.
Absolutely.
But I'm sure he would like to see, more of that stuff come along.
Yeah.
I was all kinds of tripped and happy when they did Tales from the Yawning Portal because they put White Plume in it.
Right.
I absolutely love White Plume. That's one of my faves. So
we had a White Plume reference. I don't know if anyone caught it last night. The Return to White Plume Mountain is Silver Anniversary box set is the one we ran, and Railstone Granavis, Mark's character, he's really old. But he went into that pool that regenerated your body. So he went and he went down from, I don't know, he was eventually in his 60s, maybe early 70s here, and he went down to like 25 years old. So he's like all healthy now and all. But so that was our, that happened in White Plume Mountain. So and it's very prominently put on Anna's map.
And I can say I can drop now. Anybody who's been watching the Bandits, of course, White Plume's in the Bandit Kingdom, and it's come out. The big bad guy in Bandits is actually Caraptus.
Yeah, Caraptus. I am Caraptus.
Caraptus is the big bad guy, and
you get little pieces of him, and a couple of the mages had him in his head, and so we ended up with a Caraptus child at the end of that adventure, and he's being raised in Selene right now, so that's what's going on in our world. Using
the big showdown, the finale for Bandits. And they pretty much, I'm not really, this is not really a big spoiler thing because it's come out through the story. It's going to be in White Plume. That's where the end all be all is gonna end up happening. So
cool.
Yeah.
I'm not as hopeful as you are, but with Greyhawk, but it's just, we'll see.
Right.
We'll see.
There was some guy, I'm waiting for this to happen. There was some guy, and I can't remember his name. He's big in the community. He's got a page that I think it's the guy from Greyhawkery.
It's Greyhawk Mike.
Mike, are you the one that was doing? No, I don't think it's Mike because Mike wasn't doing the 5e conversion. Were you, Mike?
I don't know if Mike's still on. I'm not sure if he's on still. Let me check.
I don't. Then I've got the wrong one. It's one of the other ones. He does a regular blog, you know, because I'm almost positive because I've seen this guy in an interview before, and I know it's not Mike.
Okay,
so it's going to be somebody else. But he did a big, huge compilation and produced a 5e conversion, a complete conversion. And he had people that play tested it and everything. So, I mean, he just couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah. I don't know if it's Mike or not. Okay, so Jeff's on, Jacob Jansen. I want to say some things to thank him personally for yesterday. Jeff was, I know, Jeff, you were, and I'm sorry if I'm embarrassing you, but Jeff was the facilitator of getting Jimmy the Brush's crew on. I know that really kicked things off. When you get rated with 88 people at the beginning of a show, it helps. and also Jeff was extremely generous. And thank you. And Jeff is also the crafter for Mark. So anything you saw that was crafted on there, all what's the stone that you use, Jeff? What type of stone is that? Yeah, Jeff is fantastic on Mark's channel. I had to say thank you. He's really been unbelievable. So and really, and the tables, Jeff's too. Jeff, I know you have the schematics for that. Please, you know, if you do, keep them at handy. I guarantee you every week someone wants to know about your table. So keep them at hand and ready for a link to go. Hurst Arts, that's it. He uses the dental stone from old. So, yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. And I'm glad you hopped on because I wanted to thank you personally for such a great helping us out so much with everything. So let's, some other tidbits we're going to do. I talked about this at the end. I don't know how many people were on at 1:30 in the morning Eastern time, EDT. Saturday night, we're not going to do this every week. We're going to call the Saturday night special. So we're going to, every 4 to 8 weeks, we're going to broadcast on a Saturday night. And the next one's already set up. It's Sublime. And he's in his game right now. He's playing, so he may not hear me on this. But there's a table link, guys, with a plan. So download that, please, if you're interested in Jeff's table. Absolutely. Brian is going to DM for me. Brian is going to, yes. So on April 27th, the Saturday night special will be, and I already have an event name for it, and it's kind of comical. But it is Brian. It's called Saturday Night Special. Brian tortures Jay with 5e play.
I love it.
So, hey, Carlos, Lysing and Amanda both came on. Thanks, Carlos, for hopping on. Yeah, everyone came on last night and contributed. It was awesome. Carlos, I also gave your wife Amanda a VIP badge this morning, so I got something to use. I might as well use them. So thank you both, absolutely. So Brian will be DMing. We're going to be using Fantasy Grounds, and it's going to be Tim the Naz is playing, so he'll be my first sub outside the group that actually has played. He will be our guest player, and it'll be me and a couple others, probably 5, and we're going to run a 5e game. I've never run a 5e game. I'm going to play in a 5e game. So that's our first Saturday night special on April 27th. It'll be third level characters. I don't even know how to make up for fifth level characters. So Brian's like, I'll make it up for you. You just tell me what you want. I'm like, oh, God. So I'm going to have to look through some things. Some of the we haven't decided who the other 3 are. But Tom, I know Lanudi's probably one. He wants in, and Brian wants Bill Shasar scoring on, and I'll leave room for one more. So that'll be our first Saturday night special. We have. In case you don't know, another cute announcement here. Lower right hand corner, we have a second sponsor. I worked out agreements with the company Stratagem. If anyone's ever seen the mats we use, they're fantastic. Stratagem has come on. We have our first giveaway for Stratagem a week from Thursday because I'm not on this Thursday broadcasting. I'm in Florida. I need a break. It's a work vacation though. I got to do required to go to a luau. Yeah, when I get there
insane.
at Captiva Island, it's really a very difficult time. My wife and me.
I don't know how you're gonna make it.
Yeah, so that's we will not be on Thursday, but the Thursday after that, April 4th, and we're going to go back to an old group. We're going to go back to our Druid group in the Defile Glades in the Vespi Forest. We have a group of a lot of neutral characters. They're fighting against a lot of different factions. We're going to run that for a little bit. We got together with the group and said, hey, what do you guys want to play? And Alan's like, I really want to play the Druid group. I love the Druid group. I said, okay, we'll play. They're called the Defile Glades Reclaimers. We're going to do them, and we're going to run them for a couple weeks and see where that goes. And we'll go off a little bit of a neutral skew, play a little more visceral type characters. So that'll be interesting. But our first giveaway was Stratagem. They're Dragon Coins. It's their first giveaway. Well, I'll give away 3 sets of them, 2 sets to subscribers, 1 to a follower, so everyone can win something. So I knew I'd have a lot of surprises for everyone. Glad you all hopped on. We got 10 minutes left, so we'll. What else you think? What other topics you want to discuss while we have the time here? 10 more minutes.
I think we should shoot out something to the audience if they have anything. What do they want to see next as far as a mega event?
Yeah, that's a great idea. What do you think? And it's nothing too crazy. What do you think? You guys have any ideas on something serious? Carlos is. Oh, look at that! Carlos is writing his 3rd module for us. All right, we finished Mushroom Blue on Thursday. And his second one he wrote for the Order of Yulok campaign was called Warts and All. So Carlos is working on the 3rd one. And
I gotta say, I gotta give a shout out to Carlos on that. You have the best titles.
Yes, he does. I mean,
I love the titles.
And it is fantastic. And Carlos, there's a lot of interest out there now. We're trying to really take advantage of that. Carlos has offered, and it won't be though till the end of the summer. Carlos is going to DM for us too.
Oh, nice.
So Carlos is going to come on, whether it's a Saturday night special or a Thursday night, and Carlos will be DMing our group. Probably it'll be a Saturday night special if he can do it, but it'll be 1E2E style like we all. Yeah, but Carlos will be running a DM. He'll be remote, and we'll have a table out and all. And yes. So Carlos will be DMing for us down the road. Just want to give out another tidbit of something that's going to be down the road. And Carlos and I haven't talked in detail, but we want to run at Gen Con a back-to-back DM game of some sort at Gen Con. I'll start it, Carlos. Since you're the veteran, I'll start it off. You can finish it up. We'll do something, maybe 2 4-hour sessions. We run with the same group. That'll be an awesome thing too. So, and this is for me, yes, indeed, very exciting. Warts and Hall, Sprocket with his one-liners out there. I would not have met Will. I would not have met Carlos. I would not have met any of the people up and down this list except the people I already knew if I wasn't doing this. So when I look back on the last 9 months that we started really streaming in June. I was messing around in May, but it's been like June. If I wasn't doing this, I would be missing out on a lot of people that I'm so happy we've met. And I think that alone, the community is growing again. I think the Grail community was deadly stagnant, and now it's growing. And beside that, there's a lot of. Well, let me start by saying I don't mean this to sound mean, and this has nothing to do with any of us on. It doesn't. There are a lot of shitty streams out there, right?
That's true.
But there's a lot of good streams out there too. You need to how to find them, and there's some good streams out there. And you and Versetti and Ukador and Nightheart Gaming are good streams. And I would have never met any of you if I didn't do. We were in a shell for 38 years. We didn't come out of it until a stupid video about a guy claiming he had the longest campaign in existence, and I got all pissed off about it. Seriously, and Mike posted it on Grey Hawkery, and that's how I saw it. I was like, oh my god, he just had the longest campaign, and a little arrogance, but that's how he started streaming. So,
right.
Okay, thanks. I was wife dropping off something there. So what do you think of, well, I mean, some new friends too,
Yeah, I think basically, I agree with getting a lot more people involved. It may be something where it's a stream where we can bring like something like what you were talking about. It's like have like a guest DM and have like a bunch of these different people from all these different channels coming together and having them play a big game. It's something like that where you can get like these DMs from different games and stuff, and because like I definitely want to watch because I want to see you play.
Absolutely. We and that goes back to last night. I mean, we had a blast. We had so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was tough to run, but we had so much fun. I'm sorry, right? I'm multitasking here at Mojo. I gotta get. I have so many of these to give out. All the good subs that I've had for months. I'm giving them all as they come on. I'm giving them all VIP badges.
Yeah,
but
and then too, it's like if anybody has any ideas, I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
This is not the domain of just anybody who's streaming or running a game. If you've got something that you want to see or got some ideas, why not get on that Discord channel and just start shouting out and get part of the conversation that way. You know what I mean? It's like for sure. It's like the best ideas don't have to come from the mind of anyone in particular. Like I said, the whole thing for running the what we did this Saturday, that came from Michael. And it's like if he hadn't have piped up, I wouldn't have thought of it.
Right.
I was rattling my brains trying to think of something, but
yeah, absolutely. And Frank and Neidhart says, he's got a long campaign going as well, and we kept to ourselves. I kept all my rules to myself. I kept all my special stuff we did to myself. And now, I was like, hey, I want to get it out there. And, I got logos now. I mean, Brian Blomkamp made logo for us. Adam Meyer edited her map for us, and that stuff would never happen if we weren't streaming. I mean, it's so wonderful. This, like, how this connects everyone together. And it culminated last night, and it culminated all day yesterday. It could have culminated more. That's all I'll say, right? Will could have culminated more, but it didn't. It could have been a fantastic, even better, but it was great. Everyone came together.
I think it accomplished everything it was intended to accomplish. It brought the community closer together. It got more people into knowing different streams and different people, and it raised a lot of money for a good cause. So, I mean, it did exactly what it was supposed to, and that in the end, that's perfect. That's what it's all about. So,
I want to clarify one thing. I meant no offense by the shitty streamer comment. That was meant off the cuff.
That's in general.
That was a general. That meant that I go and I do a search on Dungeons and Dragons, and you'll see someone around a card table, and they're all eating cereal, and they're all. It's like, why? Oh my! And there's one camera above, and guys, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. I didn't mean any offense to it by anyone. Please don't take any offense. I meant it that you have to wean through a ton of streamers and find the good ones and find the ones that bring something cool to the table. So there you go, Mojo. You got your VIP badge too. I just wanted to let you know, you're VIP'd up too. I have 30 more badges to give out. I'm going to give them out to a lot of people. So if you're chatting, you have one now. So that's someone. I apologize if I upset anyone about it. That's not the tension. I appreciate everyone's hard work at it. Yeah. So, yeah. But we're going to do something in the future. We're going to do it. We're going to do it with a bunch of see, Mojo, you're happy, VIP. We're going to do some cool things. I mentioned a bunch of them. So from this, we're going to do some Saturday night streams, and we're going to have some special guests. We're going to have some cool events, but I think it'll go beyond that. Carlos said it best. Long live Yuri Vulik, and long live the Bandit. Return to the Bandit Kingdoms. Carlos, thanks for that. You got a special place in my heart, being an old school DM who's published. So
and the press ganged opportunists, because that's what they call themselves, will never die. They'll just move on to a different location.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. But thank you all for coming on. I know we're going to cut this a half hour short because we knew this was going to be a compilation of what the mega stream went great. We got it, like I said. One more. We got this new. We got the rest in peace, another death emote out of it. We got a whole bunch of other. We got the Jay's cheating emote coming. We got all sorts of fun stuff. And I'd love to. We all need your help. We all need your help. We have ideas out there. One I didn't mention. I want to mention that Naz brought an idea to me. He brought the idea. Can you critique my campaign and a module I'm writing online on the show? And I said, yeah. So when he's ready, yes. When Naz is ready, I'm gonna get me, and we're gonna get Mark, and he loves Tim, so I'm gonna try and get Tim too. And we're just going to go over what he's doing in his campaign and what he's doing on his own, and something he's written, and we'll talk about it. We're going to talk about, and that's what I want. I want some interaction with people who are watching, and So yeah, and Frank brings up newbie to it. Yeah, I'll be gentle, Naz. I mean, I have to be. Naz has done some strange, funny stuff. He's actually used us as our names in his campaign, which is kind of scary and disturbing a little bit. That we're actually running around and us real people. But I can't wait to see it. I can't wait. Type in Naz. Just type in real quick what you're doing, what the campaign name is, and a general thing for everyone, please. But Frank is right. He puts this down, Nightheart Gaming. He said, just casually playing a home game while security camera watches versus trying to perform a little. We're in the middle, and he put it well. It reminds him kind of where we're the Mystery Science Theater 3000 D&D players. It's kind of where we are in between. It was perfect. It was a great analogy. That's what we are. We're kind of in that. We're in between, man. And I like staying there. And
Yep.
So, Will, anything you have in closing for us? I know we've gone over a lot of stuff in an hour and a half. It was good. So great audience again. Thank you all. I'm thinking about keeping this open. Mark's group runs Monday, and then we're off until if I get back early enough next Sunday, we're going to do a Gabbin. I posted it. We're going to talk about the Order of Ulick and the hierarchy of the officers. And I know it's kind of but I had to throw something up there, and something I got to do quick. I don't know what time I'm getting back Sunday, but after Monday, we're dead zoned until next Sunday at the earliest. So I'm thinking about keeping the charity donation and cheers up one more day, see what else we can get. I mean, we were over $1,000. I think that's what we'll do. So we'll keep it open that last day. That way, and then that'll be the cutoff. Will be tomorrow. So guys, everyone, Will, thank you. Tim, thank you. Everyone who participated, and that's everyone online has participated that I see in this chat, and really stepped up, and a lot of the Greyhawk community stepped up, and thank you all for that. All right, so campaign is a homebrew setting, Greyhawk inspired, but with the latitude for a lot of the stuff 5e brings to the table. Cool. Different map at the moment. Cool. Module I'm looking to publish is a low-level venture in the starting town, and Greyhawk probably be located somewhere like Pomage. Does that mean? Did you mean to say Hamlet? I don't know.
He probably meant the Pomage.
Pomage. Pomage. Okay, cool. So, oh my gosh, what is this channel about? Yes, Molax. Wow, yes. We're finishing up a discussion on a mega stream event we just had. No. We're all gamers here. This Pomage, Pomarj. Molax, check out some of our vids. Check out the vids from yesterday, and you'll see we ran a 16-hour mega stream event, and we're 1E, 2E, old school. No, this is a gaming channel. And Will's is Return to the Bandit Kingdoms is Wicked Studios LLC is a gaming channel. Nightheart Gaming is a gaming channel. We're all players. We're either 5E or 1E, 2E, but we're all players. So, so here, Naz, I'll bust your balls. Pomage. Yes,
It is.
That's it. All right, guys. Thank you all. Thank you so very much, Will. I appreciate you.
Hey, not a
hopping on
problem.
here.
It's always a pleasure coming
Yes. So I need some very earned downtime. I'll be moderating tomorrow night a little, and that'll be it. So I'm gonna mentally relax after this.
Okay.
So everyone, I'll see you soon. And we'll just remember, as long as it's Greyhawk, doesn't matter the edition. Have fun with it, and keep it going. Keep the faith. Keep on playing. See y'all soon.
Good night.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah, not a problem, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, I always enjoy coming on. It's always a blast. So.
Yeah. And they can hear us. I don't care. You guys can hear us. We're just chatting behind the scenes here. Yeah. It's gonna be. I gotta get up at 6 a.m. tomorrow, and I gotta travel all the way to Harrisburg. So I got a long day ahead of me tomorrow, and with real life work. But you know.
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we're going to play Thursday. So I got a lot to get done with that. So I'm glad I had a little bit of downtime.
Get some sleep. I hear it's good.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Excellent.
Thanks.
All right, man. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Okay,
All
have
right,
a good one. Bye.